Good afternoon, sir. My name's Adrian, and I'm an intern in this center. Yeah, how may I address you?
You can call me Jim.
Okay, Jim. And Jim, how was your travel to the center?
It was a bit hard to find this place, but it's okay. I found my way here.
Sure. I guess you'll get more familiar the next time you're here. Yeah. And have you been for a therapy session before?
No, this is my first time.
This is your first time. Have you seen any psychiatrist, counselor previously?
No.
No.
First time.
Okay. I think it's very courageous of you to step forward to speak to someone whom you're not too familiar with, like me. Yeah. And just to share with you what therapy is about. Therapy is not really a magic pill where you take it and you'll be well after 1 or 2 sessions. But actually, it takes about maybe 10 to 15 sessions before you start noticing things to change. Yeah. So, just sharing this with you so that it sets our expectation right, that we don't expect things to change immediately. Yeah. And throughout these sessions, it's also a collaborative process that we are in. Yeah, where you share some stuff with me about your life, and I share with you some of my understanding, some of my knowledge and skills. And through this, we hope that we can find something to help you out. Yeah. And also in therapy, whatever that we share in sessions will be kept confidential. So only you will know about what we share, I will know about what we share, as well as my supervisor. And my supervisor will guide me through some of these sessions so as to provide you with the best care. Yeah. And in the event that you share with me that you have plans to hurt yourself or to hurt people around you, then we'll have to break this confidentiality for the purpose of safety. Okay? Yeah. So today's an intake session, we will spend about an hour to an hour and a half. And with this time that we have, I hope to explore some of the reasons why you're here today, as well as understanding you and where you're coming from. Like for example, your childhood and some of your early years. Yeah. Is that okay for you? Okay, sure. And to begin with, can you share with me about what brought you here today?
It's been happening for quite some time now. In fact, today, before I came for this session, I know I'm supposed to leave the house at 1 o'clock, and I've been preparing since like 11:30. I took all the keys in my house, and then I went to the lock and my window grill. I put the key in, I open it, and then I close it, make sure it's really locked well. And I give the grill a good shake to make sure that it's okay, that people can't get in. And then I go to my main gate, and then I do the same, just to check, just to check that my lock is working well, it's functional, and once it's locked, it's really locked. Then after that, I have to go to my kitchen. I check that the switches are all off, you don't want any electrical fires or stuff like that. Then I went to my stove, also make sure that it's off, there's no gas leaking. And then I went to my bedroom, and it's the same thing. I have a drawer in which I put my passport, I put some spare cash, put my jewelry inside it, and then I do the same thing, and make sure that it's all there, and you're safe, And just when I thought that okay, I've checked everything, and it's not enough. I'm wondering, it's not enough. I think I better check again. I go to my window, then to the door, to the switches, and to the drawer, and the window, and the door, and the switches, and the drawer, and again and again. It doesn't make sense, does it?
As you describe it, I hear a sense of frustration. Is that right?
Yes.
And as you're doing all these checks, I'm just wondering, what was going on in your mind? What were you thinking?
I just wanted to make sure that my house is safe, that robbers or burglars can't get into my house. and hurt my wife, or hurt my daughters, or hurt me, or take our stuff. No, I just want to make sure that everything is okay, that it's safe. Then I can leave the house. Otherwise, I can't.
I see. And do you think that these thoughts are real?
I know it doesn't make sense. No, a part of me knows it. That Singapore is a safe place. My neighborhood is safe. There's a police post nearby. I know it. But it's possible. See, that's the thing. It's possible, and I can't afford that risk. I just about 3 months ago, what happened? My brother, his house was broken into. The robber, I don't know how he did it. He got through all the locks. He got through the gate when they were asleep. It was at night, and they were all asleep, and he took all their stuff. He took their laptop. He took a lot of my sister-in-law's jewelry, and some of the cash that they had. He took them all. But imagine what could have happened. It could have been worse, Maybe one of them could have woken up and he could have slit their throat, or killed them in their sleep. I'm very close to my brother, I can't afford to let this kind of thing happen. Definitely not to my family. I got to protect them.
Wow, it sounds like what happened to your brother was very dangerous. It's scary in some sense.
It is.
And when you have these thoughts, do you think that you can control these thoughts?
I try, I try to snap out of it, to not think about it. But the more I try not to think about it, the more it comes, and it keeps coming. It keeps coming, and I can't take it. I got to do something.
So it sounds like the function of your checking is to ensure that there's safety in your home.
Yes. When I check, I feel better. The more I check, the better I feel.
Okay. So let's just hold on there. If let's say you do not check, what kind of feelings do you get?
My heart will start racing very fast, and I feel very, very nervous that I need to do something. And there's this like a bit tingling feeling that I have. And I got to do something, I just have to. I got to check, make sure everything is safe. And then I'll feel better.
Sure. So you're saying that you felt nervous when these thoughts coming in and saying that it's not safe, I could do all this.
Yes.
Then I'll feel better. What does better looks like?
I mean, after I do all these checks, you can feel it that suddenly, like, you're comfortable again.
Comfortable.
You're at ease again. Like, I'm calm, and I can walk out of the door.
Sure. I'm gonna ask you to help me to do some rating to help me understand these emotions of being nervous. When the thoughts come into your mind before you start checking, you mentioned that you felt nervous. On a scale from 0 to 100, where 100 is really very nervous and 0 is the absence of that nervous feeling, where were you when the thoughts came by?
I mean, today, before I left the house, it was probably 90, 90, and then I did all those checks again and again and again. Yeah.
Okay, and after you did all the checks, you mentioned you felt better. typically how would you feel on a rating scale of 0 to 100?
I think it has to be at least like a 50, maybe 40. Then I'm okay, you know, to leave the house. It gets better the more I check, you know, that's all I know.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you is that if you can hit a 40, you'll be comfortable to leave the house.
Yeah, then I know it's okay.
Okay, sure. And can I also ask you, when did all this start?
It's probably after what happened to my brother.
Which is about 3 months ago?
Yeah, 3 months ago, that very day I remember when I came home, it was just this uneasiness in me. So that night I came home, I checked everything, at least once through, to make sure that it's safe. You know, but that night I really couldn't sleep very well, and I woke up early the next morning, and then I did the check again. And then, I don't know, as the days went by, you just need to check a bit more. Check a bit more. Check a bit more. And a part of me was thinking, maybe it's the checking that prevents bad things from happening, you know? So I need to get this done, you know. I just want to protect my family.
Sure. And you're saying that you check it, is it a daily basis?
Every day before I leave the house, I have to check. When I come home, I got to check. Sometimes before I sleep, if I don't feel so good, I got to check.
So before you leave the house, after
Yes.
you return,
Yes.
and as well as
Before
before
I
you sleep.
Every day I got to do this.
I see. And can I ask who lives with you?
There's my wife, as well as my 2 daughters.
And are they present when you do all these checks?
Yeah, every morning I need to send my wife to work, I need to send my kids to school, and then they're very upset with me, you know, because a lot of times it takes me time to check. It doesn't happen in like 1 minute. So they're always telling me to hurry up, stop doing that, stop checking already, checked already. I know I checked already, I just want to make sure, you see. And because of that, you know, sometimes I take longer than I should. I send my kids to school late, and then they get into trouble with the teacher, and they come back, they're very upset with me. And I tell them I'm sorry, and my wife is late for work, she scolds me, she thinks I'm going crazy. I tell them I'm not, you know, I just need to protect them. I'm sorry, you know, you're late.
It sounds frustrating to be misunderstood as well.
It is.
On the one hand, I see, you being a man who wants to protect his family, not wanting them to be in trouble, you want to ensure that they are safe. But on the other hand, they are not really understanding where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And they blame you for doing so many checks.
Yes.
Have you ever got them involved in helping you to do some of these checks?
Not my children, but sometimes, you know, if I'm in a rush for time, I try to ask my wife, you know, just help me check the kitchen, you know, check the lights, check the switches, check the stove.
Okay.
Then my wife will tell me, don't be crazy, there's nothing wrong, you know, it's all fine. And she'll tell me, if I want to do this kind of crazy things, just do it on my own. You know, she doesn't help. So fine, I'll do it on my own. That's why it takes so long.
I see. So your wife didn't help you out with the checks?
No, she doesn't.
Okay. And early on you shared with me that the checks, the number of checks and the time spent seems to be increasing from the first time
Yeah.
you checked. I'm wondering, when was the worst time? Like it took the longest?
I think it was probably about 2 weeks ago. I was having a really bad day at work, you know. And my boss was really giving me hell because I've been going to work late, and I can't really focus at work, and I hand out my stuff late. You know, my work comes at deadlines to me. I need to submit certain report, and I need to finish these papers by this time so we can table to the forums. So so that all the big shots can discuss. So my boss was really giving it to me, and my colleagues were supposed to work on this paper with me. They're pissed off at me as well. I was just really under a lot of pressure. You know, when I went home that night, I really couldn't sleep well, and I woke up very early that day. I probably woke up at like 3 in the morning. And I just had to do my checks, you know. So I had to check again and again and again and again and again and again, you know, until 6, 7, when my wife and kids were screaming at me before I managed to stop. And I was so tired. But at least I felt at ease to be able to go to work again.
Sure. So you spent about 3 to 4 hours checking?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned that your work has been a challenge as well, where your boss has not been easy with you. Has it been like that most of the time?
Before all this tracking happened, it was okay, you know. I was a very good worker. I'm very hardworking, you know. I always get my stuff right. I'm very organized. I'm also a team player. You know, I know that I need to do my part. But since all this tracking started, I turn up at work late. Sometimes at lunchtime, if I don't feel so well, I just need to go back home to make sure that my house is safe. So I go back home, I do my checks, and then I come back. Sometimes I come back a bit late. My boss is screaming at me, wondering why am I back so late. And then when we're all going to knock off, I'm probably the earliest to knock off, because I just want to go back home and make sure that it's safe. You know, I haven't been putting in my heart at work, and I know it. I haven't been doing my work on time. I know anyone will get pissed off at me. You know, my boss has been scolding me. My colleagues have been shunning me. They don't really talk to me so much anymore. It's not easy. You know, it's not easy at work. Nobody gets it.
It seems like a big struggle for you. Yes. And no one seems to hear you out, no understand where you're coming from. I'm just wondering, with all these thoughts that come in and they're affecting your checking behavior, increasing the time spent for checking, have you tried any methods or any strategy that you use to shunt out or block out these thoughts, or to stop your checks?
I did. You know, I tried to watch TV. I try to listen to music, but it just doesn't feel the same anymore. You know, the thoughts just keep coming back, and I know that this distraction doesn't work. You know, I don't really know how to deal with all this. The best way to deal with it is just to do my checks. That's the best thing I can do, to check. Checking helps. Checking takes these feelings away.
I see. So at the moment, only checking will help to provide you with some ease.
Only checking.
I see. And so in the last 3 months since you started checking behavior, has there been a time when you didn't feel that there's a need to check?
There was probably a month ago. Then my parents came to spend some time with my children. And also for the first time in a long time, me and my wife, we managed to book tickets to watch a movie, made reservations for dinner. Yeah, I was surprised myself. You know, we got all dressed up. My parents came, and I just walked out of the house.
Okay.
You know, I didn't feel the need to check. No, we just walked out. I guess I was really looking forward to watching the movie and eating dinner. And it was okay. Throughout dinner, it was okay. The movie was fine. I think it was really a fluke, because then night when I was come home again, when I was putting my key to the lock again, it all came back. When I came home, I started doing my checks again. No, it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense. My parents are at home, the kids are at home. Who else could mess with the locks? Yeah, but I just felt I had to do it again. So, like I said, what happened before I left the house was a fluke, once off, and it never happened again.
Did it surprise you that you didn't need to check?
Yeah, I was surprised, I was shocked. Like, wow.
I'm just wondering, what element from that experience helped?
I guess I really miss spending time with my wife. I really looked forward to it. But times like these don't come easy. Yeah, I mean, we live on our own. The kids are always around. Our whole life is about the kids. Yeah, it's just not much time for just the both of us.
I see. Do you think that you like to do more of this?
I would if I could. But then there's the responsibilities that I have, and I've got to fulfill them. I've got to help the kids with their homework. I've got to shuttle them to and fro to whatever place they have to go. It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
It sounds like heavy responsibilities as well.
Yes, it is.
How about other areas in your life? Like, how has your work been?
I guess it's normal. It's normal. I don't think there's anything different.
Okay. How about your sleep?
I mean, there's some nights which I don't sleep so well when I'm very stressed, thinking about work or thinking about this checking. Some nights are okay, some nights are not so okay. It depends.
Okay. And for the nights that are not so okay, would you say that you have difficulty falling asleep or remaining asleep?
Maybe it takes me a bit longer to fall asleep. After a while, I get a bit tired, then I'll fall asleep. But it's still normal, you know. I better sleep around midnight. Usually I wake up about 6. Yeah. Just that on some bad nights, like that night, the day when my boss was give me a very bad time, then I wake up at 3 to do my checks. But most nights I'm actually okay. I wake up at 5 to 6. Sometimes a bit earlier if I need to go office earlier, so I can make time for the checks, you see. Yeah, but it's okay.
Sure. And your appetite, how has it been?
Normal.
Normal.
Nothing much has changed.
Sure. Well, I'm just going to share with you what I just heard from you. And at any point you feel that, I missed out on certain information, please feel free to let me know. Yeah. Well, you shared with me that about 3 months ago, your brother's house has got a break-in, and the burglar took away a lot of stuff. Yeah, and it was a potential threat. And that night, you start checking on your stuff. You start to check on your locks, your grills, your main key to your door. Yeah, as well as checking to ensure that your drawer is locked as well. And you're very worried that this thing might happen to your family, which puts your family safety at risk. Yeah. And as you were doing that, you had feelings of feeling anxious. Yeah. And it's only after the checks that you'll feel better. Yeah. And during the same time, you also have got physical sensation, where you notice your body having increased heartbeat, a tingling sensation you mentioned. Yeah. And after the checks, you'll feel better. Yeah. And I shared with you earlier, I see a man who cares for his family, who do the checks to ensure safety. But as a result of all this, it's been causing a strain on your relationship with your family members. You mentioned about your daughters and your wife. Yeah. And they are late for school, late for work as a result of your checking. And yourself, you're also late for your work. And you've been affected by it. And your performance at work has been affected as well. Yeah. I'm just wondering, apart from these few areas, where your work, your relationship with your family, as well as your sleep, which has not been too good. Apart from these areas, are there any other areas in your life that's been affected?
I guess I used to pursue hobbies. I used to go swimming and running quite a bit, but now I don't feel like doing these hobbies anymore because I just don't want to have to leave the house, sometimes. Because before I leave the house, I need to do all these checks and it just gets a bit tiring. It's not that I don't want to do these hobbies, I want to do them. I'm just that it's just troublesome. Yeah, I really want this checking to stop so that I can get my life back in order again. Yeah.
I guess one of the things that you hope to do is, through all the sessions, that you hope to reduce the number of checks.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was interesting that you shared with me that nothing you did could help to bring down that feeling that I need to check, or the thought I need to check, and that feeling of nervousness. Yeah. You mentioned that you tried distracting yourself by watching television, and it wasn't effective. Yeah. But what was surprising was that time when you went out with your wife, you didn't feel there was a need to check.
Surprised myself.
Yeah. And it was also very insightful that you were able to highlight what was the element behind it that you missed that time spent with your wife. Yeah. I'm just wondering, in the past, apart from this time, in the past, were there times that you felt really anxious?
Not in particular. I mean, when it's nearing deadlines for my work, I do get a bit jittery. When I need to give presentations, I do get a bit jittery again, stammer a little bit, but nothing comes close to this. Nothing comes close. Yeah.
Okay. And do you know any of your family members or extended family, like your relatives, who had such experience?
I think my mom did mention that her mom, like my grandmother, I think she said that she couldn't go shopping. I mean, I'm not that close to her, but all this I'm hearing from my mom, that sometimes when she goes shopping, she will freak out, like she will want to black out, and she has to get out of the shopping center immediately. I think there was a term they call this. I think they call it panic. Yeah, I don't really understand why, but anyway, she just passed away some years back already. Yeah, I don't think she ever got help. She just lived with it and kind of stayed at home all the time. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And back to yourself about this worrying. Do you worry any other stuff? Like, for example, do you worry about your health?
I'm usually quite healthy. I don't worry about my health.
You don't worry about your health. Okay. Well, these are some of the routines questions that we do ask. And another question that I like to ask is, do you notice there's any involuntary movements? Like a jerk or something?
No, not that I know.
Not that you know. Okay. How about, seeing things that are not there, or hearing things?
No, I'm not crazy. I know that. I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I don't have that.
Okay. These are some of the routines questions that we do ask clients. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with me. And another question I like to ask is that, you are trying very hard to resolve this issue by, suppressing a thought, getting our thoughts away, do you try to cope with using things like substance, like drugs, alcohol?
No, definitely not. Right? I mean, safety is a big issue, and I know that I take all these substances, it's gonna make it worse for me. It's gonna make it worse for my family. So I don't.
Okay, sure. And looking at this problem that you're having at this moment, there's thoughts that comes in and you cannot control it, and it keeps you so occupied with the checks. As you look at this challenge that you have in front of you, what do you think is causing all this?
Tell the truth, I don't really know. It's just these thoughts that get into my head. I mean, if you can help me get rid of these thoughts, I'll be so happy, you know. It's these thoughts that makes me do all this checking. If I could get rid of these thoughts, that'll be the best.
Sure. Well, we can work together to see what we can do, right? And another question that I'd like to ask you is that, when people are facing difficult times, maybe a time like this, they do have thoughts of wanting to harm themselves or to hurt people around them. Just wondering, do you have such thoughts?
No, never. No way. Yeah. And safety is a big concern to me. I'll keep myself safe, I'll keep my family safe, I'll never hurt myself or others.
Well, through this session with you, I really admire you. So you keep repeating about, I need to keep myself safe, I need to keep my family safe. I see a protector and someone who cares for the safety of his family. And because of that, it kind of push you to want to go and do checks because you have thoughts that, it's not safe, a burglar might come in and bring harm to my family. And so you do a lot of checks. Yeah, and like you shared with me earlier, it brings about feelings of nervousness and the body sensation. Yeah, we've tried a few methods to cope, like you shared with me, and so far not many has been useful. Yeah, but one of that sounds useful is that when you share with me that you went out with your wife and that brought a bit of relief. Yeah. I thank you for sharing with me all this. Yeah, and I will see how we can work with this strength that you have, with this challenge that you have. Yeah, so as to reduce the number of checks.
Okay.
Yeah, because earlier on you mentioned that that's what you hope to achieve.
Yeah, that'll be great if I could. That'd be great.
And hopefully with the reduction in the numbers of checks, it can bring about a positive change in the area of your relationship with your wife, your family, at work, as well as to improve your sleep.
I hope so.
Is there anything that you'd like to add on, to share with me?
I think we've really covered everything. I think you kind of framed it quite nicely. That I just really want to protect my family. Yeah. And I really hope I could get better.
Sure. Well, thank you. I'm going to move on to the next part for today, next segment, and that is also wanting to know more about where you're coming from, your life history. Yeah. And some of these questions, it might make you feel uncomfortable sharing with me. Yeah. But if any time that you feel that you're not too comfortable with it, well, feel free to let me know.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you.